can't see anything. Oh, there's a massive glare. Whoa, now I can't see anything. Am I talking to a camera? Okay, I think so. All right. That was not the sound of me farting. Those were my Crocs. Hi friends, welcome to another episode of My Quirky Kitchen. I'm your quirky cook, Hannah Bunker. That's so cheesy. And today we are making something that I found on Twitter. It is a dump cake, which I think is a very unfortunate name, but that's what we're gonna call it. Since we're all living this quarantine life together, I wanted to make something where you might already have all of the things in your house already. And so this, I thought, would be the perfect thing. You gather any kind of fruit that you already have in your kitchen. It could be frozen fruit, fresh fruit, peaches, cherries, apples, blueberries, mixed berries, whatever. And you dump it in a pan, and then you make the cake topping, and it ends up being like a cobbler almost. That's what we're making today. So I am making an apple dump cake because I had a bag of apples laying around, and I've already peeled my apples, sliced my apples, and this is where we're gonna start off. So I have my apples ready to go, and these are Pink Ladies. That's what I had on hand. I usually like to use Granny Smith's for some sort of dessert because they're more tart, but we're gonna try it with Pink Ladies this time. And we need, it says 3 pounds of fruit. I just cut up what I have and we'll see how it goes. First thing we're gonna do to our apples or our fruit, whatever fruit you choose, is we're gonna get half a cup of sugar and we're gonna pour it into our fruit. Pour, pour, pour. Half a cup of sugar. I'm gonna toss it in the sugar. Man down, man down. We're gonna toss the apples to coat them in the sugar. So next is 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm gonna sprinkle that. You know what might be better is if you mix the sugar and the cornstarch together first. I didn't quite think that through. Learn from my mistakes, internet. I did say tablespoons, right? Tablespoons. Tablespoons. I am known to mix tablespoons and teaspoons. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, which I don't have 1/8, so I just do a little bit of a 1/4, which is hardly anything, and I threw a majority of it on the floor. And then we're gonna stir this around and mix it all together. Coat all the apples in our sugar cornstarch mixture, which these apples aren't very juicy, so they're not really, if it sounds like a gurgling noise, it is not me, I promise. I have some butter melting for our next step, so it's making a really weird noise. So this should be a pretty versatile dessert depending on what you have in your kitchen. I would love to make this with some blueberries and raspberries and strawberry. Stop throwing apples! Now I'm gonna try to get these dispersed all evenly. Now I'm gonna set this aside and move on to our next step, which is creating the cake batter topping. So now for the topping, I'm gonna take 1 cup of sugar, plop, 1 1/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I will try not to dump it on the floor this time. And then we're going to whisk all of this together. That's my sign for whisk, okay? Now here's where this dessert gets its name. We are now going to dump, for the dump cake, the flour mixture onto the top of the fruit. And you wanna do it evenly. Instead of dumping it out of the big bowl, I like having a little more control. And so that's why I dump it with I scoop it with the measuring cup and I sprinkle it over so I have a little more control. This is really coating all this fruit. I hope this turns out okay. I haven't tried this yet. This is trying this for the first time in front of all of you. So if it sucks, I don't know. We're almost done coating. Make it go evenly all over the top. Okay, last little bit. So now our dump cake looks like this. Then once we have all of our flour evenly distributed over the top of the cake, or over on once we have the flour mixture distributed evenly on top of the fruit, that's when you're gonna drizzle your butter. I don't know how this is gonna go. This doesn't seem to be spreading evenly. The ratio of butter to flour does not seem very even. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Hopefully it's good and not just a big blob of flour coated apples. Okay, maybe there is enough butter. I was starting to think there wasn't enough butter. Dump cake, you have earned your name. I have dumped everything into you. And now I'm gonna bake it on 375 for 35 to 40 minutes. Okay, the instructions say here, if you notice a few dry pockets of flour towards the end of cooking, push them down into the fruit with a spoon so they can cook. Let's see, how's it looking? Okay, it's not looking too bad. I think it looks pretty good. All right, so here is our apple dump cake. We're gonna give it a try. I was not so sure about it with the flour just dumped all over the top. Let's see how it tastes. That tastes like summer. That's good. I give it a thumbs up. I'll link the recipe in the underpants below this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. My kids are so entertained by me. We'll see you for the next video. Thanks. Bye.